personal story time.
This one is on you, sir. How you infested
I
the
didn't do
office
it.
with bed. It says, Joe, I got the office infested with bed bugs.
That is not what it says.
They don't know.
Oh man.
What does it say? What
Yeah.
does it say?
So for those that want to know a little bit of background baseball, under the personal story tab, we've got a bunch of stories listed that we could choose from. And I put the ones that are me. I put Joe hyphen and then what the story's about. So what this actually says is Joe hyphen the office got infested with
Don't
bed
you just
bugs.
love how he has to? He
I have
loves
to.
what we do so much that he thinks my stories are his, so he has to declare which ones are his, so he remembers that. Oh wait, no, that was a Charles story. All right, no.
Yeah, Charles got infested with bed bugs.
No. Well played, sir. Thank you for pointing out.
Oh man, yeah, no. So we got an email and an automatic call. We have a system that's, I can't remember what it stands for, but it's BEN, BEN is the acronym. And so we got an automated call telling everyone not to come into the office. And I've been working from home for 4 years now, so I was like, okay, but I wanted to know why. So I talked to one of the people.
This is the one day I want to go to the office.
So I've got a few coworkers that they're always in the center of the gossip. They always know what's going on behind the scenes, and so they get all the tea. And so I know who to go to find out why stuff is happening. So I reach out to my contact and I'm like, okay, what's the real story here? Why are they telling people not to come in? And it was like they sent it out on like a Tuesday and they were like, don't come in until like next Tuesday for like a week. And so come to find out, there was a bed bug infestation at the office. Oh, and so what happened is, in
an office that nobody's supposed to be working in, right?
Well, they brought people back, so there are people in the office, but because there are a lot less people, what they did is they've rented out a floor to, well, rented out is kind of not the right term, because so they have college students that come in and do classes. They do classes there, and then they offer the promising ones internships after their classes are done as well. But they completely reconfigured this entire floor to, I guess, make it more hip or whatever. So like they've got a giant chessboard, they've got some TVs with some video game consoles, and they've got an area for napping.
So kindergarten.
You're not wrong. We make fun of it all the time when we're talking about it at work. But one of these people who wanted to nap brought in contaminated pillow and blanket and infested the entire office with bed bugs that had to be fumigated for a week. And so everyone had to work from home because the college kids brought in bed bugs.
Those things are very hard to kill.
Yeah. Well, and it was originally don't come back till Monday, and then it got extended for a few days. And so it ended up being about a week. But yeah. We were just like, really? Well, because half the stuff I'm like, college kids don't need an area for napping. They should just I don't know. People are coddled so much these days. I sound like an old man, but
Yeah, you do. You're about to tell me to get off your podcast. I mean, I agree. I don't understand the concept of workspace for a nap. I mean, you're here to presumably learn stuff about what your company does, like inside the company, jobs or whatever, because then they get internships. Why? Oh, I'm sorry. They stayed up all night studying. Nobody stays up all night studying. Almost nobody's. And the ones that do, they don't need a nap. They're going to take their Adderall and they want to learn everything you're going to teach them. So, yeah. BYUI. Buey? No, it's Bluey, civilian. Bluey has napping
Brigham
spots.
Young University, Idaho has napping spots now. Oh.
They're called dorms, aren't they?
I think they actually got rid of their dorms because no one
Well,
wanted
then
to
they
stay
brought
in
them
them.
back and called them something else.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
I mean, I get wanting to take a nap while you're at work.
And I mean, this is a bit of a tangent, but my wife sent me a reel the other day about how Gen Z, a decent percentage of them are bringing their parents to job interviews, and some of the parents are even answering questions at the job interview on behalf of their kids. It's just like when it feels like when you are actually an adult is getting pushed further and further and further back. It's like I don't know. When I was growing up, and you too, because you're a fair bit older than me. Enough,
baby.
Yeah, so we bridge different generations, but people craved their independence. Like they couldn't wait to get out of, and I get that at least financially it's a lot harder to have that independence, but it feels too much. There's too much of coddling going on, in my opinion. We went from bed bugs to coddling, and it's too much for me.
I have not dealt with that in the workplace. I've seen some TikToks where people are selling supposedly true stories, talking about how mom came into their workplace to talk about their kids, such whatever. But when I was at school, like I was teaching EMT school, we definitely had. I mean, they're over 18. You don't have to be to take the class, but typically to get licensure, you do. So typically everybody's 18 or older. Most people we get, I mean, 18 is rare to be that young and go to EMT school still. And so they'll be 20 and their mama will bring them in. Okay, first, I get it for orientation night, perhaps you're paying for it. You want to understand the process so you can support your kid. Sure, I get that. But when your kid's failing and we're talking to them about payments and failing and adding extra fees, and then the parent wants to call up, it's like, you do understand that your child is not a child. They are, I wouldn't say a grown adult, but they are legally an adult. And just like they can go to jail for the bad things they do, choices have consequences. Yeah, it's crazy. There's the random kid. Random kid went away for a little bit but came back.
Baby, come back.
So here's what I've taught my kids, and this is what I work with EMTs and the next generation that's coming in to EMS. I call everybody a kid, by the way. I mean, there's people older than me, and I'm like, yeah, he's a good kid. And for me, it's like an experience in life, or I mean, sometimes in reality, it's a child or a young adult or something like that. But mostly, I guess when I sense that somebody's just not as wise or nerdy as I am, as I'll put it, I call them a kid. But the true young people that are coming into the field of EMS, and my own kids are that age. My older two are that they could be entering that. It's I hate when people just call it generational, because it's not. A lot of the people that I see coming to EMT school on their own volition, like if their parent just wants them to do it, that's exactly what you're talking about to a point. But it's very much, they're not always taught how to live. They're not always taught how to figure things out on their own. I hate those TikToks out there where a parent's showing a kid something in life, like DOB. So you know what that is, right?
I saw that one. Yeah,
you saw that one.
I mean, I work at an insurance company. If I don't know what DOB means, I might be in trouble.
Well, yes, but to be fair,
most people should know.
And yes, but also in context, right? EMS for me is emergency medical services. A block down the street, it's Edwards Middle School. So my kids kept talking about EMS. I'm like, what do you? Oh yeah, whatever. But yeah, DOB is universally, mostly depending on context. I'm sure there's a rare case that's not, but date of birth. And this TikTok, of course, the parents taking the TikTok, the parents sitting there, and this daughter is between 16 and 18. Sounds like it's her first job. And they're of course they do things through text, right? Which drives me crazy, but sure, whatever. And she's like, they want a dob. What's a dob? And the parents are just laughing at her. And I'm going, Hey, morons. Guess whose daughter she is? Oh, yours. And you didn't teach her what
a dob is.
I need your dob for
and I'm sure it was in complete capitalization, which would denote that it's an acronym.
Okay, but when's I get it. Your kids are between 4 and 12. But when have you taught your kids what an acronym truly means in this world? Not the meaning of it, but like, okay, it can mean this and
that
this.
An acronym, yeah,
right. But you have to teach that at some point. Somebody has to teach that at some point.
I think video games have already taught them that, because, like, for instance, they play balloons all the time, and they're like, "Oh, that's a Moab. That stands for monkey."
Yeah,
blah,
okay,
blah, blah, blah.
Good. Well, okay, not everybody plays games like we do, but yeah. But beyond that, that game taught them what Moab. I mean, it's part of the storyline. They make a big deal out of mother of all balloons, But if you don't have a reason to know, why would you have a reason to know? You know what I'm saying? And when your daughter is getting her first job in life and she doesn't know what a dob is, that's literally, you've obviously filled out every piece of paperwork for her ever, for school and whatever other legal things, doctor's offices. So she's never done that. The things that she does online, you set up her phone, you bought her phone for. How many times do you have to figure out what DOB is on your phone? Never. And you're not to set it up, not to do standard apps, not to do, you might spin a thing. You might not look at the screen. We all know, hey, if there's a spinner with month, day, and year, there wasn't a birthday, and it's not in balloons. It's not, Joe. In balloons, Moab is mother of all balloons. That's the pun that they make. Where's Kurt when you need him, for crying out loud? Anyway, off of my soapbox, you understand what I'm saying. Is there something to be said about people who are whiny? Yeah, he did. Well, he didn't call in sick. He just didn't show up. I don't know where he is. I literally texted him again. He put a 4-letter word in there. Don't know why, but apparently there's something in Discord, but he mistyped. So on text, he just puts a 4-letter word. I was like, all right. Anyway, teach everybody what you want them to know. And that's been the heart of how I've built my team at my company. It is on us. I don't care how the adult is that comes to us. It is on us to clearly teach what we want to go on here. End of story. Because if we want to sit and go, well, they should know better. Well, sometimes there's going to be the why. Ask them about their life and try to figure out where in their life they should have learned whatever it is you think they should already know. Secondly, then think back in your life to when you figured that out yourself. I can almost guarantee most situations where somebody taught you something. College orientation, someone asked me why TBA teaches so many classes. I like it, Hugh. I like it. That was back in the 40s, man, when that happened for Hugh. So, but yeah, we teach. If to listen, but to mock somebody because they don't know this common thing, please. Which is not what you're doing, but you triggered a soapbox out there.
And when in doubt, wash your pillow and your blanket so you don't get bed bugs.
They're not as an infection is bad, but like the bed bug itself is not as bad as you think. Every once in a while we have a patient that gets it, and we do have to take some precautions, like we put them on a paper sheet so we can throw it away and you can see the bed bugs. There's sprays out there. When it first happened, I'd never dealt with bed bugs, and I had to Google it, and because everybody around me is like, you have to use a nuclear bomb. Like if you get into your house, you got to move out. And they put a tent over it. And
they're like little cockroaches. They survive everything.
You got to throw them in a dryer because you got to get up to 1400 degrees Celsius to kill. I was like, Google. Oh look, there's a $30 spray at Amazon. Done.